Thanks for checking out my video. If you want to learn more from me, I have a lot of classes on Udemy. You can find the links to a lot of those in the description.
So I've had a couple of emails and comments about, what's the bad stuff that can happen with the Simon Necronomicon? I believe I've talked about this before with different videos and such, so I thought I'd revisit it. And this time talking about, what some cultures call the hungry ghosts, right? In the Simon Necronomicon, it says that, there's spirits that will be attracted to the energies of your workings, and this goes effectively with any type of energetic manipulation or any magical workings. If you guys have been watching my channel for a while, and I mean a good long while, then when I started working with magic back in 2007, there was that same kind of thing happened to me. But it was more or less shadow people, or at least from what I could tell, that, when I started practicing magic during a summer term in college, I had dreams of shadow people, and when I would go walking around at night, I had uncharacteristic shadows that were literally following me and whatnot. So I'm a little bit versed in this stuff, clearly. So when you're working with any type of magic, you're gonna have spirits that are attracted to the energy, like, moths and bugs to an exterior light. Or if you get one in your house and they start buzzing around the light in your chandelier or, light fixture or whatever, you get the same kind of idea. Now, are these things threatening? No. I mean, especially for beginners, that's why I suggest that you make a magic circle, whether it be out of energy or flour or cornmeal, what have you, that's a boundary, and, you set your intention on it, you put your energy there, and bing, bang, boom, good, right? Then, I mean, we all have our own personal energy bubble-ish, which, effectively, according to some, nothing can get into it unless you grant permission. Now, other schools of thought will talk about how fear and believing in things gives them power and gives them energy. These things feed off of strong energy, either in happiness or anger, which is why, you can feed and or even create negative or positive thought forms with high levels of emotion. So when it comes to magic and being afraid that something bad is going to happen, well, that's going to feed into something negative happening. But if you are working magic and you happen to hear, a door creak, or something falls off a shelf, or you hear a super loud bang that sounds like your washing machine fell over, like I did, thing is, ignore it. Don't address it. These things are trying to feed off of the energy around you, and they're trying to get your attention. They're trying to get you afraid, because then it basically produces more food for them. So, there's like the Gedim and the Gula, which I'm trying to remember my terminology, but we have hungry spirits and even spirits of the dead that are roaming around, because, it's the unsettled spirits that didn't cross over, unfinished business, yada, yada, yada. And of course, they can't really eat. In Tibetan Buddhism, hungry ghosts have mouths the size of like pinholes, and they can't get anything through there, but they're still wandering around hungry, and they're angry about it. So if they happen to notice you, then of course they're going to come over and wonder what's that about, and see what they can get out of you. And think of it this way: spirits are non-physical, so we can say that they are not of this plane that we're on, that has 4 dimensions: height, length, width, and time, right? So they're of I don't like using the term dimension, because then it sounds like I'm talking quantum physics when I'm talking magic, but it's really all the same thing, so you guys can hopefully go with this. The idea is that the energy that we manipulate is of a kind of different frequency than, physical matter and whatnot. Could this leak into other dimensions or ways of perception? Yes. Could they be perceived by spirits that are arguably of a different dimension? Yes, that's what we're going with here. So when we perform magic, those things, they feel it and or hear it and or see it or sense it, whatever term you want to use, and they come after it. And the the residual energy, think of it as like, if a toaster oven is cooking my pizza, as it did this morning, the outside of it is hot. Why? Because you have the heat radiating from it. You can think of the same thing with a magic circle. I don't think that any magical casting is a 100% closed system due to the fact that we as humans have difficulty with holding perception and attention on something indefinitely. So that kind of always having to refocus, that leads to stray energy, which leads to energy seeping out vis-a-vis a toaster oven that is hot and the outside of it gets hot and the air around it gets hot. Hopefully you guys understand that analogy. And then they come to feed on it. Now, these spirits, can they stick around and wreak havoc depending on how your frequency of magical practice? Yes. Can you banish them? Absolutely. You got to go through your entire house, every nook and cranny, with incantations and sage, solemn seal, camphor, maybe even do the Minu of Enki with spritzing water, we'll chant the Ea, things like that. But these things aren't really, to be afraid of. Think of it this way, like, you could be afraid of driving a car and therefore never drive a car. You could be afraid of, the downside of magic and never do magic. Well, I drive a car and, nothing too bad's really happened to me with driving a car, and I've done magic and nothing too bad has happened to me with doing magic. It's the idea of you be smart, you be safe, you know what you're doing, and you learn about it so you can be a better driver or a better magic practitioner. The bad drivers on the road that could hit you, it's kind of like the hungry ghost and the gula and the gadim and all the spirits that come in to, quote, attack your circle. Can you do something about them? Yes. In driving, it's defensive driving. In magic, it's proper protections. Ooh, really good analogy right there. With a lot of these videos, I kind of wing it with my scripts and stuff. So hopefully you guys are grasping this concept. The idea is, one, don't have fear about this stuff. Two, you gotta be versed in protection stuff, with grounding and casting a proper circle and doing regular cleansings and things like that. This is all regular maintenance. You clean your house physically, clean your house energetically. You can do the same thing with your car. Do it more often than I do, because I really need to get in a better habit of doing that. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about this one, and if you have ever had any experiences with any negative spirits, gula, gadim, hungry ghosts, what have you, attacking your circle or making bumps in the night around your magical practices. Good hunting.
Thanks for watching my video. So if you want to check out my playlists, I have, among others, the Simon Necronomicon, the Tree of Life, General Magic, Tulpamancy, a playlist on my books, the elements, stones, the theories that govern magic, and the gods and goddesses of Mesopotamia. If you want to check out my books on Amazon, I have Creating Consciousness, Magical Mechanics, Magical Theater, Handy Sigil Magic, Magical Movement, which is an update and expansion upon Handy Sigil Magic, Magical Mastery, which is a combination masterwork of Magical Theater and Magical Mechanics, and The Guide to the Spheres and Beyond. You can also find me on Facebook at Magickology YT. You can email me at priestofthenecro@gmail.com, and you can even check out my Instagram, which is Magickology. And good hunting.